Okay, in this video we're going to be working on Lesson 7 beta build for our space game. All right, and our objectives, students will explain the iterative process of building a game. Students will modify the user interface for a game. Students will modify game content based on customer comments, and students will debug and fix game errors based on testing and customer feedback. All right, so we have our situation here with the Awesome Game Company for the prototype Meteors game. All right, we have all our information on vocabulary words. Make sure you go and answer all the vocabulary words from what you saw there and answer these questions from it first. And now we get into our situation. The Ugly Furniture Organization, UFO, liked the changes made in Lesson 6, but thinks that the age group for the game will find the buttons for launching photons too hard to understand and use. A simpler user interface is desired. Additionally, UFO thinks it is too easy for the player to simply flood the screen with photons. The UFO should only be able to fire one photon at a time to add challenge to the game. So we're going to open our Meteors game, and we're going to save as last name, your last name, Meteors beta, and a location. So we already have that. So I have this Meteors beta all opened up. All right, so before programming new launching keys, you need to get rid of existing programming. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up deleting our press A, press D, press S, and press W keys. All right, so let's go ahead. This is all our expander objects, and all of this right here, showing here. So we expand our objects, and we have our UFO object. So we have our press A, and we're going to delete that. Yes. Our press D and delete that. Yes. Press S key. Delete that, yes. And the press W key, we're going to delete that. Okay. So now we come back here. And we want to have a key press event added. And we want to select the space bar. So now we're gonna do all of this, 9 through 18. So we have add event, key press, spacebar, so we have that in there, and we're going to bring in the create moving. So we have from our main one. All right, so there was something right there. Let's take a look. It says move one. This is supposed to have the word MAIN, main one tab. That's where it's located. So here is our create moving event. We have self reflected. We want to have our object photon. And X will be 0, Y will be 0. Our speed will be 40. In our direction, we're going to write in some code here. And we want the code to reflect what we named our objects here. So we have lowercase obj underscore UFO. So whatever we named our UFO, this is lowercase obj underscore UFO. Whatever you named yours, we're going to put right in here. So go ahead and make sure you click on this and make sure you know exactly what you named it, so you can name it exactly the same here for the code. Capital UFO, and then here we put a dot or a period, and then we have lowercase direction. We want to make sure relative is checked. Once we have that done, we can hit OK. All right, so this was all here. remember what we had was lowercase obj dot direction. That's what you're moving it. Then okay. Now we can test the game and save our work. So we hit OK. File, save. Test our work. All right, so if we go up, all right, we have all this done here. Okay, all this works correctly. Now what we saw here was we had a lot of photons coming out, which was fun, and it's good for the game. But the client wants you to limit the photon launching rate of the player. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to open the object UFO, and we're going to click on the spacebar event that we just created. We're going to bring in the destroy instance from main 1, and we're going to select the object radio button. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have object UFO, and then our space main 1, destroy instance, bring that in there, select object, and we're going to select photon, our object photon here, as the object we're going to destroy, and then we're going to hit OK. Now we want to drag this up to the top, and what's going to happen here is when we press the space bar, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to destroy or delete any photons we have on the screen, and then it's going to create a new photon. So if we push the space bar and a photon comes out, it'll go and smash into something. Unless we push the space bar a second time, it'll destroy those photons that we have there. So let's go ahead and check this out. So we hit file, save, and then we play. So you see, I can let that go, but if I hit the space bar a second time, it deletes the photon that was fired, making it more difficult. All right, so sometimes when you fix a problem, you have other problems. So what we have is we want the UFO to only go in the directions up, down, left, right. So we're going to open the UFO and select the event for pressing the left arrow key, delete this existing action which sets the horizontal speed, drag the move free button, and drop in the actions column. And then we're going to hit the direction and the speed in here. Enter 180 and a speed of 5, and then hit OK. Copy this new action, deleting the motion for pressing up, right, down arrows. For each of these direction setting, correct degree entry, test the game, and save it. So we have our left here, and what we want to do is we want to have the move free. So we're going to delete this. Oh, let's move fixed. want to move free. This one. All right, so on this one, we want this to be 180 and the speed to be 5. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to do same thing here. So we had our right. We're going to bring in our move free. We're going to have a direction of 0 and a speed of 5. Delete this. So up, we're going to have a direction of 90 and a speed of 5. And then down, we have a direction of 270 and a speed of 5. All right, let's do this. File, save. And let's try out our game. All right. So now we just have these up, down, left, right keys. During the testing, the beta testers found it was hard to tell when the player lost a life. They found it difficult to shift their eyes from the game action and title bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a visual of when your UFO gets hit by an asteroid or meteor, and we're going to have it flashing different colors as it's losing life. So we're going to go to the UFO sprite, and we're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to change the name to sprite UFO -1. So let's go ahead here. Let's look at our sprites, and what we do is we right click, and this gives us options here to duplicate, and we're going to call this SPR underscore UFO -1. So now we have that. Now we're going to edit. We're going to edit the sprite. So click on our edit image. So edit sprite, and then we click on the edit image. And then we're going to zoom in with the zoom, and we're going to make sure that 255 is in the opacity, which it should already be. And we're going to replace the radio button to color mode. Use the replace one instead of the blend one. All right, so we click on edit the image, or you could double click on the image. We have make sure that 255 is here, and then we click on replace. So blend, if we put a color in, will blend with whatever color already exists. And replaces one color for another. So let's make this nice and large so we can see these different color palettes. And for the left side, we want to pick yellow. All right. And then we're going to use a fill area, and we're going to click yellow, 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 yellow. So this is all yellow in here. Make sure you just click those areas right there. Then we're going to hit OK. All right. change the color fill area, and then we're going to copy the image to the clipboard. Right here, copy the image to the clipboard, click on it once, and then we want to paste it. Then we paste it a second time. All right, so we have 3 yellow UFOs. Now we're gonna click on the middle one. We're gonna edit. We're gonna change this color to red. Then we're going to zoom in. And we have this already. We're gonna go click and click. So now we have that turns red. Then we hit OK. All right, so now we have these 3 images. We have yellow, red, yellow. When we hit show preview, you can see it's flashing right here. This is how fast it's going to flash when you get hit. So then you go OK. So now we have this, and then we hit OK. All right, so now we have that UFO. Now we're going to duplicate this one. We'll call this SBR underscore UFO minus 2. All right, we want to edit the sprite. You see we have our sprites here. We'll click on the first one and we'll edit that. And it says to use white, but I think using a color close to white, like a pale pink or maybe a pale purple, that'll be really good. So we're gonna click, hit OK, and then click on this guy over here, click, and we're gonna zoom in, make sure we got this here, click, and then hit OK. So we see this right here, and maybe you want to do something a little different on this one too, just so we know that it's changing. So it's edit, zoom in, and how about this color? Let's see how that looks. All right, so here we have this blinking right here. Okay, so then we hit OK. We hit OK. Now we have our flashing lights. All right, we have our show preview. Replace those colors. We saw the image yellow on the outside and red in the middle. All right, use the similar steps for a UFO that flashes red and white. So I changed it to like a bright pinkish purple fuchsia and a really light pink instead. Now we're going to save our work. File, save. You have 2 new sprites. However, the UFO will not flash until you program it to do so. Open the object properties for the UFO object. Select the event for a collision with a large meteor. So we have our objects, our object UFO. Here's a collision with a large meteor. Drag the Test Lives button from the Score tab and drop it into the Actions column. So we have test to see if 2 lives are left. If 2 lives are left, change sprite. So Test Lives from the Score tab. Looks like the heart. Test lives. We'll put that there. Enter 2 in the value text box. Equal to. 2 and equal to. Then click the OK button. Drag the Change Sprite from Main 1 tab into the Actions column. Click the Self Radio button to apply the UFO. Sprite UFO 1, then click OK. Change Sprite. Self. Sprite UFO 1. We have a speed here. Then we hit OK. So there we have, if the lives are equal to 2, change the sprite to UFO 1. And then we can go back, we could have our score, we could have, if the lives are equal to 1, if lives are equal to 1, then we have changed to UFO 2. All right. So now we can control 1, 2, 3, 4, right click, copy, and then we can go to our different meteor objects. Make sure you drag this end of block up above this right here. We hit OK. File save. And then we can test the game. So we shoot things, then we actually run into it. Oh, we didn't run into anything yet. All right, there's, I got hit once. Oh, I'm flashing. Oh, now I'm flashing the other color. Now I'm dead. So that works great. All right, so now we have a delay photon. All right, so launching of the photon is still not quite right. When the player presses a spacebar too quickly, the photon appears to get stuck in front of the UFO. There needs to be a better solution. We will create a solution now. Open the Object Properties dialog for the UFO. And select the Create Event. So here we go. So UFO Create Event is selected. We're going to go for the set alarm from main 2. That's set alarm. We're going to bring that on, and we're going to change this to 15. We're going to leave that at self, and then we're going to select alarm 1. Then we're going to hit OK. Now we're going to add an event, and we're going to select alarm 1. So we have alarm 1. We're going to drag the set variable from the control tab. So we want the set variable. We want it on self, and we want this to be capital V A R underscore FIRE. And we want the value to be 1. All right, so we need to make sure we have this set correctly. We're going to do the spacebar event. Press the spacebar. We're going to drag the test variable over here, and we're going to do VAR underscore capital FIRE, just like we did before. Value 1, and we're going to keep it equal to and OK. We're going to drag this up to the top, and then we're going to have our start block here and our end block here. So, oops, that gets us all the way down here. So we have this all set up just like you see in here. So here we are in 96. Delete the existing, destroy the instance action. That's this one right here. So we're going to delete that. Drag the set variables button from the control tab. And we're going to put that right there. We're going to call this capital VAR underscore FIRE. We're going to have 0 here. So we have self button. We do a capital VAR underscore capital FIRE, just like we did before. And then we have this in here. We're going to come back to the alarm 1 event. I'm going to drag set alarm from the main tab 2. Make sure it's on self. Enter the number 15. We're going to select alarm number 1. OK. Hit OK. File save. And now we test our game. So now when we fire, we can't fire again until our photon leaves the screen. Great. So there we go. Oops. So now we just have the tuning. So modify the title page. So hopefully you create a title page. You need to create that. Change the room speed from the game frame to a setting of 10. Test and play the game. All right. And save your work. So you already saved your work. All right. And then you just finish up all these questions and then submit your work. So here we go. We got GameMaker. All right, so file save. I'm gonna file save as. I'm gonna put it in my documents here, so that you know what you're doing. So I have this. Your name Meteors_beta. Hit save. Now I'm gonna do publish or create executable. So I'm gonna create the executable. It's gonna be in the documents section where you had your game saved. Hit save. Now I'm going to go to my teams for video game design. I'm going to go under files and I'm going to look for lesson 7, the beta build. Click on that. Now you're going to upload your file. Remember, make sure it's the executable. And I'm going to go into my documents where I left it, and now I'm going to look for it. So this one's the GameMaker file. I want the application, which is the executable. So it's got a green dot. It does not have the G on it. So I click on this one, and I hit open. And now it's uploading. And now it's uploaded. So you can see we have the executable file has been uploaded. And if I click on this, you can play someone else's. So there's Zach Kelsey. I'll hit download. I click on downloaded. And in my downloaded section, there it is. I click on it to open it up. It says more info, run anyways. So here's his game. It's got the sounds, it's got the blinky lights, but he didn't change the photons. So he needs to go and change his photons. So I can check everybody's work, and then everyone else can check their work and then rate it. So go ahead, create your game and submit it, and check other people's games to make sure they have everything done completely also.